Welcome to video lecture number 3 for Anatomy Basics. In this video, we are going to cover the lobes of the cerebral cortex. We're going to talk about their function, and we are going to talk about the location of each. So for this video, to take notes or to help you take notes, there is a diagram on Google Classroom that has the cerebral cortex broken into the 4 different lobes that we were talking about in this video. So please have this up to take notes on, or when we're done, go back and take notes on it. It is on Google Classroom. The first lobe of the brain that we are going to talk about is the frontal lobe. And surprise, surprise, the location of the frontal lobe is at the front of your brain. So if you were to touch your forehead right directly behind your fingers, that part of your brain would be your frontal lobe. The frontal lobe has a lot of really important functions. This is where memories are stored. This is where your emotions are stored. This is the part of the brain that works with decision making. It helps you to problem solve and reason. This is where your personality is. It's super duper important. Now, there are lots of stories out there of people getting injuries to the frontal lobe. Like, for instance, way back in the day, there was a guy who got like an iron rod. It like went through his head, through his frontal lobe, and out like another part of his head. And he lived through it. I think he got the rod removed completely, I think. But anyway, they found that his personality completely changed from that accident. Before, he was really kind of talkative, outgoing, and after he became really super shy. So injuries to the frontal lobe are known to cause personality changes. Those people sometimes are going to experience memory loss. It's just a really interesting field of research if you want something to look into while you're at home. The second lobe of the brain is yellow on your diagram. It is the parietal lobe, and this is located at the top of your brain. So if you were to put your hand on the top of your head, right below your hand would be your parietal lobe of your cerebral cortex. Now, the job of the parietal lobe is to look at sensory information that's coming into the brain. So like when I had my hand on the hot stove, again, I'm mentioning it for like the 5th time, my parietal lobe is able to kind of process the information to tell me that this is hot. Okay, your hand doesn't know that what you're touching is hot. Your brain is processing the information and it's telling you that it's hot. Okay, it's also going to help you kind of process any sort of pressure when someone is poking you. It's going to, like when you step on a Lego, right? Your parietal lobe knows it's going to tell you that that is painful. So really, if you think like parietal lobe, pain, pressure, that's the way to remember it. The third lobe of the brain is your occipital lobe, and that is in the back of your brain. So if you were to put your hand in the back of your head, not your neck, but the back of your head, right below your hand on the other side of your skull is your occipital lobe. And the occipital lobe, its job is to process your vision. So everything that you are seeing, your eyes are just taking in the light waves from everything that's in your field of vision. Your occipital lobe is actually processing that and putting it into images for you. So your eyes, they don't really see, they just kind of collect light, I guess, in a way. And your brain kind of processes that light and where it's brighter and where it's not, and what colors are coming in and where different colors are coming in, and your brain turns it into an image. So what you're seeing isn't coming from your eyes, it's coming from your brain, if you can understand that. Now, some fun fact about your occipital lobe. When I was in high school, I used to get really bad, like daily headaches in my neck area. It was in the back of my head, like in my neck. My dad was convinced I had a brain tumor. If you ever get headaches, like on a regular basis in the back of your head, just go and get your eyes checked, because it turns out that's when I found out I needed glasses. I just went to the eye doctor and the headaches went away. So if you're straining your eyes, you might notice like frequent daily headaches in the back of your head. So that could be a possible thing. And the last of the 4 lobes of the cerebral cortex is your temporal lobe. That is green on your diagram, and that is located on the sides of your brain. So if you take your hands and you put them kind of just above your ears, on the other side of your skull would be your temporal lobe. And since it's located by your ears, great segue into the function. This is in charge of speech perception. So kind of turning the sound waves that are entering into your ears into actual words. So the reason why you can interpret what I'm saying to you is because of your temporal lobe. So really all that enters into your ears are sound waves, kind of like the only things that enter into your eyes are light waves. Those sound waves, they are going to be kind of processed and interpreted by your temporal lobe, and the words that you hear are actually coming from your brain. It's not coming from your ears. Your ears are just kind of a collection of sound waves. There are also some types of memory stored in your temporal lobe, but their major job is to process what you hear. So this is what your diagram should look like at the end of this video, but you should have some notes written on, because you will need to know where each lobe is located, as well as the function of each. And that's it for video lecture number 3.